Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a good Saturday. What fucking day is this? I never know the day. It's a horrible way to start the program. Yeah, Saturday. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday. Didn't do a show last night because we have stuff planned today, and I wanted to make sure I was awake for the day. So I went to bed early. Well, as early as I do, and slept about 2.5 hours. So it's gonna be one of those days. Hey, Sin, you want to come hang out? Anyway, we're going to talk today about real time last night. Bill Maher did something. He did something unusual. He was back to his old self. It was funny. Part of it, I guess, was because Christina was on, and part of it, I guess, was just because maybe he actually does have a principle or two in his body. I'm not convinced that he does, but the show started out. I didn't watch the monologue because I don't actually watch the show. I catch the clips they put up on YouTube. But he does his monologue, and he brings out a guest, and they talk for a little bit, and then the guest goes away, and he has his panel. He gets to his new rules, and then he does the after show where they sometimes bring the original guest back. And the show last night was the parts that I saw. I want to emphasize that the parts that I saw. They were good. They were good. I watched the interview with Christina Hoff Sommers, which was really good. It's the kind of feminism that feminism should be. It's what it was supposed to be from the beginning. And I don't know. It was good to see. It was very reminiscent of my favorite feminist, Camille Paglia. She's not quite as militant as Camille is. How you doing, Scribbles?
I'm awake. I'm stretching.
Welcome to the day.
I didn't see the Bill Maher thing with Christina Hoff Sommers, so I'll have to take your word for it.
That's all right. I'll relay the interesting parts. They mostly talked about how feminism has been hijacked, and it was actually it was great because Christina comes out and she goes, Bill asked her, what happened to feminism? And she goes, well, it was starting to get off track and we thought we could bring it back. And Bill goes, you know what? I thought that too, was politically incorrect. And I missed by a mile. We just, we couldn't stop political incorrectness or political correctness at all. And it's for the same reason. They didn't really, touch on that, but it's for the same reason. It's what we now call social justice. It just kept moving further and further, and if you questioned any of it, you were a sexist, and nobody wants to be a sexist.
Nope.
Especially if you're not one. And so then you had people going out there trying to prove how unsexist they were.
Yep. I need to prove a negative. Proving a negative seems to be the only way that you can redeem yourself, except you can't do it, so you're always doing it.
Indeed. Now, the reason I even took notice of this, and it's the reason I usually take notice of Bill Maher, there was some problems on the Twitter. People had some problems with what Christina said.
What?
Well, they get into the wage gap, right? Thank you so much, Chicago Mike. Monkey in the Morning, in a normal morning. Monkey, are you feeling okay? It all depends on my plans for the day or whether or not I've been able to sleep. Remember, that's why this show has no dedicated time. It allows me that freedom. But they get onto the wage gap, of course. Of course. Christina explains to Bill that when all factors are all like education, I forget the other breakdowns. But once that's factored in, it comes down to about a 23% gap.
Right.
Not the 30, not the 50. It's about a 23% gap. She goes, and then when you start breaking it down by, what kind of jobs they're doing, that's when it just kind of like disappears. Right. And she pointed out that the highest paying job is a petroleum engineer. So the people going into that field are going to make the most. And that's where that field is dominated by men. And then she pointed out that early childhood education, which is dominated by women, just doesn't make as much money. And there were people losing their shit on Twitter over this.
How? I mean, that's just fact.
Well, because she's perpetuating the problem. She's perpetuating the problem. Look, Scribe, if you can figure it out, you're a better man than I am. But that's basically what they were saying.
Well, perpetuating the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only thing that comes to my mind, and again, I have not studied this to any particular way, is that anything that goes against the party line threatens the ego of the people who hold on to the party line. So I forget who said this, and it might have been Sargon years ago or somebody else, but somebody put it very simply to me. They said, can you imagine for a moment being someone who is on this side of absolute certitude about their moral rightness over everything, right?
Yeah.
And imagine that you're setting this and you've got this and you think, I am doing, for lack of a better phrase, the Lord's work, even though if you're an atheist or whatever. And that I am looking out for marginalized people and the oppression of women and yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm doing all this, doing this. And you do this for years, right? And someone comes to you and says, hey, all that stuff you're doing is based on falsehoods, or all that stuff that you're preaching is actually counter to what you're actually trying to do. Well, you've got two choices then. Either you can admit that all of your fervor has made you a horrible person all of these years, or you can double down.
Sure.
And which side does the human ego want to go towards as a natural course of its own self-survival, right? I mean, it's the same thing as a lifelong fundamentalist Christian suddenly realizing that they're doing everything based on a fairy tale book for the most part. Do you admit that you've been persecuting and judging people unfairly your entire life and you've been the bad guy, or do you keep going? It's the Dr. Doom paradox. It's like, I'm the bad guy, but I'm protecting my country. God damn it.
That's what Christina brought up. She's like, look, the problem, we have to face the actual problems. If you want to fix the pay gap, then what you need to do is you actually need women going into petroleum engineering. That's how you fix it. She's not saying that it's better to pay petroleum engineers that. She's just saying that's where the money is.
Right.
Here, I want to read you the first tweet that I found about this. Just randomly searching. It's the latest one if I search that way. This is from Beth Bob. It says, Christina Hoff Sommers is a guest, talking about Bill Maher. Her brand of eyes wide shut feminism scoffs and belittles at a time when we are suffocating in the sadism of this misbegotten presidency. Bill Maher, Christina Hoff Sommers is a breath of hot air.
Yeah, because petroleum engineers weren't earning more than teachers under Obama.
Under Bush,
they weren't, no. Under all these other, what? you have to shoehorn Trump in there somehow to show how much of a happy warrior you are. Jesus Christ.
No. But one of the things that Christina said that pissed a lot of people off as well was that the new feminism right now is teaching women that they don't need they don't need equality with men. They need protection from men. And Bill Maher, he read I don't know if it was, a complaint or a story, but it was from a female Bernie Sanders staffer.
Oh, I thought the way you said that for a second, I thought a female Bernie Sanders. I'm like, I can't even imagine what that would look like.
No, she's a female Bernie Sanders staffer who had to share a hotel room with several male staffers.
Okay.
And she said she was literally shaking, and the whole time she was like, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" And Bill's like, "Go to sleep."
Yeah.
Not all guys are rapists, but this is what Christine is talking about. I mean, they're teaching women to be afraid of men.
Yeah, and relatedly, thus, men to be wary of women.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen. Real quick, before we get away from the pay gap, the one thing I also wanted to bring up about that was that Bill kept trying to turn it into the women not being able to negotiate, because we've heard that before. Women don't negotiate as well as men. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is, yes, there's a lot of jobs where you negotiate a salary and stuff. But there's a lot of jobs where you just go in there and that's the pay you get.
Yep.
But Bill said, look, he goes, if that is the problem, women need to get better at it. You don't change the whole system. Women just need to get better at negotiating their salary. That's the problem there. If they're the problem, not the people there. Not the guy who's going, okay, I'll give you that salary. If you go in there and you don't fight for yourself, that's not their fault. Literally not their fault. That's your fault. But yeah, so Bill touched on that. I was happy to see Bill on this subject because it was like watching old Bill Maher.
All it's going to take is Ice Cube to show up and tell him how he's wrong.
I know. He did say one thing that pissed me off, though, in this discussion. We'll get to the other part that I want to talk about, but in this discussion, he said, we are a young species and we're still very, what was the word he used? It wasn't savage. We're still very savage. And he said, for most of our history, women have bore the brunt of that savagery.
World ends, women most affected.
That's not true.
No.
Look, I'm not saying horrible shit hasn't happened to women, but even in crime statistics today, men get beaten and shot, and the only one that women have on us is rape, and that's only if you don't count prison rape, because prison rape just goes right through the roof.
Yeah, crime, war, heart disease, work accidents, on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Now, does that make men, quote unquote, a victim as a whole? No. That's just the nature of humankind. Since time immemorium, the men have been the ones to go out hunting or go out to fight or whatever else because sexual dimorphism and testosterone. Yay! Oh, no, there's a Sinatra.
Good Sinatra.
Are you driving and streaming? You know what happens to thoughts when you do that?
Well, good thing I'm not a thought.
Well, you wish you were.
That's true, but
I know.
I'm not. So.
Did you get your computer fixed?
Yes. I'm
good,
just going
good
to get
deal.
breakfast from my mom. My mommy made breakfast, and I'm going to pick some up.
You're going. Your mom does drive-through service.
It is when I go there.
Okay,
can she move up here? Because I could use that service.
Dude, it's a little bit of a drive, but it's really nice.
Mommy's drive-through. That almost sounds disgusting.
If my mom were alive, she was like an hour away and said, "Come have breakfast," I'd be like, "Hell yeah!" Because there's something about mom's breakfast, Something about mom's breakfast.
Well, there's something about being taken care of, by somebody that
Scribe. I'm a grown ass man.
Loves you. Oh, shut up! It's about being there, and you wake up and you can already smell like the bacon grilling and you just wake up like, oh my gosh, and you can hear like the moving around and plates clinking and stuff, and you know that your mother's in there and she's making you something to eat. And you're gonna go in there all kind of sleepy and sit down, and she'll put a big hot plate of like scrambled eggs and pancakes in front of you. Like, oh man,
it's different.
I'm speeding up a little bit.
Because look, Lady Monkey cooks breakfast for me sometimes, and it's great. It's awesome, but it's not the same as when mom cooked you breakfast.
Well, yeah.
No, it is. There is just something about mom's breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's more specifically the eggs and the pancakes
that
no one can match.
Yeah, and look, Lady Monkey is great at cooking and everything, and I'm not down in hers. I think it's a mental thing more than anything. We know that because
you know what it is. Now you know what it is. Okay, here's what it is that even if it's your wife doing it, the person you love, you've been with for years and years and years, you are partners. Your mother is your mother.
Right.
She's in a position of superiority and almost saintliness. And I understand, I'm not speaking for all mothers out there. There are horrible mothers out there. But my mother particularly, like so many mothers, greatest person I've ever known, saint in my eyes. And there's just something much more caring and sort of, you feel a deference to that.
Mom is never going to divorce you.
Exactly.
That's not even
You're
a thought.
You're not going to wake up one day and your mom's going to go, "I don't love you anymore."
Right. Because it's mom. And look, it does happen for a very few people, but for the most part, mom. Anyway,
and
get back on top.
Very few people. I bet their mom cooks an amazing fucking breakfast.
Probably. Dangerous Spaces says, when Kathy Newman interviewed Jordan Peterson, she implied that women should just be better paid without having to ask for it. I will go you one better. In the UK, they've actually suggested that men should work less hours because women do, and that way everything will even out.
This is so Harrison Bergeron. Everybody has to act and action and function exactly the same, so that there's no difference and no one can be better than anybody else. And somehow that's going to make things equal, except it makes it boring and uninteresting and also detrimental to people who could do better. You know, if you weigh down the guy who's talented to make the person who's not talented feel better, you're losing out on all the benefits the talented person could be giving to the rest of us.
That hurts my head. Men do worse, so then you're equal to women.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. It's hey dudes, look, you guys are doing too well. We need you to tone it down so that women can compete.
The soft bigotry of low expectations.
And
I have a friend who's about a year or a year and a half older than me. So he's 27 at most. He owns his own home. He's a mechanical engineer. I have a female friend who's 27. She lives in her mom's attic and works a part-time job at a bar. So there's some discrepancy there.
No,
I don't think it's the gender.
She should be making just as much as he does. Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, James Colley. Let me get the Streamlabs up here. The females in my engineering firm have taken more days off due to pregnancy. They also are leaving left and right because they hate each other and try to undercut each other. Well, yeah. Well,
that's the other untalked about thing about women in the workplace. Women are fucking terrible to each other.
Oh, they are. But the first part that he was getting there to, this is something that comes up in the wage gap discussion that the feminists of today absolutely ignore. It's like, you took 6 months off for pregnancy or 3 months off or whatever it was. Like, you weren't there for that time. But they're like, no, wait, I still deserve to be evaluated exactly the same as that man who was here for a year. Lamented Guide, thank you. Ahoy, monkey, I'm late. So what's on the menu? Well, first we're talking about feminism, and then we're getting into fat shaming.
Well, no. Pancakes and scrambled eggs. That's what's on the menu.
That's it. That's at Sinatra's house. Well, Sinatra's mom's house. And hey, Dorky, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, I really hated how he brought up that the women bore the brunt. Fuck you. No, they haven't. If you look at the violence and the even the subjugation of people, I mean, they always like, look, the king, he was mean to, and he had these women's, and he was mean to all of the guys in his kingdom as well.
So wait, what is that? Shit. Women bore the brunt of what?
Of the savagery that is humanity.
So I assume they mean war, suicide, shit like that, right?
No, I think he was mostly talking about rape. He didn't actually what's the word I'm looking for? Specify?
I was going to say, there's a website called realsexism.com.org, something like that. And it breaks down the male fatality list. And it's like men are something like 98% of combat deaths, 95% of suicides. And
it's actually like 78%. Because here's the weird thing, because Bill does go into those. After he talks about that, he brings us into the modern future, and he starts talking about, workplace deaths, definitely men. The length of prison sentences, men are way higher. For exact same crimes, by the way. Suicides, what else? Combat deaths. Yeah, all of that. Men are just way more. But yeah, they don't pay any attention to that because
you ever notice it's not equal pay for sanitation work, equal pay for concrete layers, equal pay for brick masons. It's equal pay for office air conditioned, short skirt, button down top jobs.
Fucking Satsu. I remember when villages were raided and pillaged and they killed all the women and children and kept the men, right? Exactly. Throughout history, men have been worse to men than they have been to women. But when he made that line, everybody clapped, of course. Of course, that was a great thing to say. Because you know what they're thinking. Oh, sexist. And that's when he brings us in with the Bernie Sanders story, because And then he talked about the Biden one, that chick who was all freaked because she was getting ready to go give the speech, and he put his hands on her shoulders and then sniffed her hair and then supposedly kissed the back of her head.
Yeah.
And Bill's like, so what? So what? An old man kissed your head. He goes, look,
I agree, but it's pretty. Did they ever talk about what happened to Biden's eye?
not that I know of. I didn't see.
Because I want to know why the fuck his eye exploded on live TV and no one's even drawing attention to it.
Oh, I don't know how to say that. Liu Boimler. It says something is wrong with the microphone. If you're talking about Sinatra, he's on his phone. You're a little bit quiet there, bud.
Sorry.
There you go. That's better.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stories talking about it. I don't see one saying like a statement from the Biden campaign said X or anything.
I wonder if they're going to play it off the same way they played off Hillary Clinton basically falling apart on the campaign trail. No, it's fine. She's fine.
I think Joe needs a rest. I really do. And that's sad this early in the campaign.
Yeah, you don't.
You know what's funny? Go ahead.
I was going to say, you don't blow a blood vessel because you're relaxed.
Trump does like 2 to 3 rallies a week. He's flying all over the place. And no matter where he is, he never seems low energy. He never seems lethargic or out of it.
Well,
and he's almost as old as Biden is.
Well, we've talked about this several times on this show. Yeah, this one. They're two different people. Biden for the last 4 years has been sitting on it. Well, yeah, 3 years or so. And actually, if you go all the way back to when he became vice president, he's been sitting on his ass a lot. Where Trump is a businessman and has been since he was in his 30s. And this is what he does every day and has done every day. He gets up and he does things. Whether you like what he's doing or not, he gets up and he does things. So his body is used to this shit. Where Biden has been, at least for the last 2.5 years, sitting on his ass doing nothing. He hasn't campaigned anywhere. He hasn't he hasn't even, gone to the halls of Congress to bang the gavel or anything. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he's also 76. He had like 2 brain aneurysms back in the 80s. I mean, this guy isn't exactly. And now his eye explodes on stage. And again, it could be something completely, minute or whatever, innocuous or whatever. Good choice of word there, Monkey.
Thank you. It's fitting.
But the thing is the more I look, there's no statement from the Biden campaign just talking about even something that's thin enough to say assuring about his health or something. I don't see anything with them saying what happened or giving any kind of assurance about it, which is really weird.
Good morning, Jack. Hang on 1 second. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Okay, what were you saying, Snoot?
Do you think when people vote for an older candidate, like they did for Trump or probably considered with Hillary, do you think they take into account the VP who will be running it if they kick the bucket?
I don't think most people put much thought into the president actually dying.
No, probably not. Unless the media brings it up and makes it an issue. I mean, if the health becomes an issue and the joke becomes, well, which running mate are we electing president? That kind of thing. So.
Because I think I was the only person who thought about President Tim Kaine.
Oh, I thought about that. I thought about that all the time. I was like, Jesus Christ, Tim Kaine is president? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tim Kaine didn't think about that.
You have to realize the last time a president died was in 1963.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to us, that's something that'll never happen.
Well, I mean, there was Nixon, but that's a political death.
That's different. I mean, he was still alive.
Yeah.
He was still alive, at least. I mean, the last time we lost one to death was, and that wasn't a natural death. What was the last time we lost one natural? Garfield?
Roosevelt, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Roosevelt was in office when he died. So 40, what was that? 40,
that was
42, 43?
No, it was 43.
What is the average life expectancy for a white male? 80 years, maybe?
These days, something like 80, 83, I think.
And Biden is how old?
76.
So he'll be right on that average death range.
Check your logic. No, we're not talking about just any president dying. We mean dying in office. I'm sorry, I should have been more specific there. But yeah, so I don't think people really think about it. I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, that's not going to happen. So you got to remember, if you go back to Reagan, that was a big thing with Reagan, which Bush had made a big deal about in the primaries, was how old Reagan was.
Well,
right.
Reagan was
back
also
in
losing his fucking mind.
Well, not
we didn't
in
know that. We didn't know that at the time, and not to the extent that it was later on.
and not in 79 when the case was being made.
Yeah.
Because that was or in 80, sorry. Well, it was in 79ish because that was the start of the primary.
Yeah, and Reagan shot down all that stuff by saying to, was it a Mondale or whoever? It says, well, I won't hold my my opponent's youth and inexperience against him.
No, he actually said that to Bush.
Was it Bush?
Yeah, to his eventual vice president.
There you go. Okay.
All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about with real time last night, because again, he pissed me off with one small part of it, but the rest of it, he was spot on. He did his new rule on fat people.
I saw that. That part I did see.
And it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
He started out by saying, new rule. Oh, real quick. I'm sorry. Thank you, Cryptic. My friend requested I make a dad joke out of his sentence. I told him it was burnout, like Icarus. I'd flown too close to the pun. Nice. In chat, I'm being told no, it was Mondale. He said that too. He said that in 84.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
Either way.
except for the fact that I was right and Monkey was wrong. That's all.
Oh.
Eat me, because I was 25 at the time. I'm old now. But he started off his new rule with new rule. At least one of the Democrats at the next debate has to mention that in order. So I'm paraphrasing here because I forget the rest, but basically they have to bring up that fatness is the biggest cost in healthcare. That's why healthcare is so expensive.
Well, he said that the citizenry has to realize that they're eating shit or something.
Yep. He said that as well, and lots of it.
Well,
lots of it.
Big Sugar has a lock on us. And
yeah,
it's making us buy the insulin that they're selling through big pharma. So it's all big grand conspiracy of big things. We even call it big pharma. So it's all about the fatties.
Well, there was a great part that he did in there when he showed a guy from an old sideshow who was the fat guy in an old sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, today he'd just be a guy. And you're like, you're right. He would be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He absolutely would be. Yeah. He'd just be a fat guy. And not even that fat. I mean, by today's standards, not even that fat.
And then he brought up the footage from the moon landing and the vast group of people there that were watching the moon landing. And they're all thin and svelte and everything. And it's like, he's got a point.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
You're fine. The one part there were a couple parts, but one of the parts that he said that pissed me off was he's talking about how Europe, it doesn't have this problem.
Mm.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
Germany does. The UK does. Pretty much the Western world does, because we have
What
excess.
Are we talking about, fat people?
Fat people, yes.
I'm sorry. I cut out right when Scribe was about to say what Maher said. Can you repeat it?
Oh, well, he was just talking about, the biggest expense we have in medicine is fat people and how we eat a ton of shit. And that's a big problem for us, which isn't untrue. He did something that you'll love, Sinatra. And I thought it was funny as shit, too, because some of us know these statistics.
Right on stage?
No, he brought up, and I forget the month that he was talking about. I want to say it was last month. Maybe it was a couple months ago. But he said 53 people were killed in mass shootings. And he goes, that's horrible, right?
Yep.
He goes, you know how many died of being fat? 40,000.
Yep.
Oof.
Cryptic, thank you.
Sorry.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. High fructose corn syrup has wrecked our body. You're not wrong.
That's very true.
Big part of it.
Now, when he says 40,000 people have died, does that count the ones that had to buy an extra seat?
No. He did make the joke, though, that none of us is born needing an extra seat.
That's true.
Thank you, Tall Person, who says, hello, everybody. I can't stay as I have work, but here's some money and good vibes. Happy National Beer Lovers Day, everybody.
Let's get drunk. Yay!
If you love beer, today is your day. No, I just thought, I don't know what Bill's doing lately. I really don't. because this one is going to piss off a lot of people, and this already started to over on the Twitter, because how dare you go after the fat people? How dare you?
90,
Yeah, well, I'll believe Bill's
say-
turned a corner when he attacks race again with some kind of spine.
Yeah.
I'll say something like
Go ahead, Snoot.
80 to 90% of fat people say they have a glandular problem. It's a glandular no, it's not. It's a fast food and unhealthy living style problem.
Well, yeah, that's mostly what he was talking about too. I mean, again, if you go onto Twitter or on YouTube, every fat chick on YouTube has PCOS. Every fucking one of them. Whoops, I'm swearing in front of a child. I'm sorry, baby. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? She's being very quiet today. She's got her headphones on so she can hear you guys.
Hello, Grand Monkey.
What is
Polycystic ovary syndrome.
Come to our house.
They can't come to our house. They live far away.
I wish I could.
No, I'm on my way.
They live far away.
I come over and I bring pancakes and scrambled eggs.
Yeah, they probably.
Do you like pancakes? Okay, you gotta stop twisting the cord. My head's gonna be pulled down soon.
Stop torturing Grandpa.
Are you gonna talk? Okay, she said she nodded her head yes.
Okay.
No, but if you guys remember when Nicole Arbor did her Dear Fat People thing, a ton of women went out there, big women on the YouTubes, and they're like, I have PCOS. By the way, PCOS is incredibly hard to diagnose. Don't play with that. Don't play with that one. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You can touch up here. Just don't touch that. It is. It absolutely is. They're like, I'm just fat. And one of the biggest ones, it was, what was her name?
One of the biggest ones.
Yeah, physically or
both
numbers wise? Oh.
Both.
Like Tess Holiday or one of those other moo cows.
I can't remember her name. She ended up actually getting a show on like she ended up having a show on TLC where she had like a life trainer and everything.
Wow.
And her life trainer fired her.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you?
She was eating donuts in the car. The life trainer was like, if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm not wasting my time with you anymore.
No, she had a giant cookie, and she said, well, I only took one bite. And he looks down. The camera pans down to the floorboard of the passenger side of her car, and there's just nothing but wrappers.
I wish I had a giant cookie.
Me too.
Me too.
That's what she said.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Bye, Grand Monkey.
Do I get a hug?
Bye, everybody. Bye.
That's where you listen from. This is where you talk, honey. This is where they can hear you from.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Are you leaving?
What a cute.
I don't think she's actually leaving.
The headphones are not on.
Thank you, Pat. It was Whitney Waythor or Waymore.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I actually got in trouble for my video. I know, right? I got
across 2 lanes.
Are you done? You're adorable. You know that? Has anybody told you that? Has anybody ever told you? It's way Thor, actually, but yeah.
No, it's way more.
Well, because only Thor could lift her.
Oh,
nice. She also did a TEDx talk where she explained.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But she was a dancer, don't you know? You want some of those? All right, hang on. Back up just a sec so I can reach.
Yeah, she was a dancer. A long time ago when she wasn't a big sea cow.
No, it's funny because they actually had videos of her dancing and stuff, and there are more jump cuts in there than a Phil DeFranco video.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Drunkle and I did a video on her.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, she was. Oh man, but remember, it's not her fault, man. She has PCOS.
She was fighting fat shaming by dancing.
Yes, and having to have the camera stop every couple of minutes so she could breathe.
Oh, real quick, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was watching a movie review yesterday.
Okay.
And they were talking about how Thor
Jeez.
should be able to hang Mjolnir on a coat rack, but he should, right?
Yeah, he could put it wherever he wants. It's just nobody else can lift it unless they're
It's
worthy.
a mystical ward. That's all it is. It doesn't.
Yeah, they're
affect
like,
the
this hammer must weigh 20 tons, and he's just hanging it on a coat rack. Like,
No,
Put your hand-
it's not about weight. It's about mystical ward.
Okay.
that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
like they
Think
did
she's-
establish that the Hulk can
Oh,
lift it,
here.
throw it, but he doesn't get any powers. He's just that strong that he can lift it. Because there is some element of weight, but if he wants to hang it on a coat rack, he can hang it on a coat rack. He's Thor.
That's what I thought.
Scribe's right. It's more of a mystical enchantment or ward on it than it is anything else. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Ralph the
There's a-
Movie Maker is full of shit.
Yeah, well, it's just I think a misunderstanding of what the enchantment is on it. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily a weight
you
thing.
got two elements to it. You got the fact that the hammer itself is made out of a metal from like the heart of a dwarf star, so it's already the densest thing in the entire universe to begin with. So it's super duper heavy by itself. But then you add on to it the mystical enchantment, and nobody can lift it. But Hulk can. It's like you got two different things going. You got the weight, and you have the enchantment.
Mhm.
Hulk can beat the weight, but
Hang
the enchantment does not grant him any benefit.
Yeah, because he's not worthy.
Two things. One, I'm not farting. That is little butt over here making noises.
Yes, we understand.
And two, thank you, fat guy with a tube. Bum ba ba bum ba bum. Bum ba ba bum ba bum. Bum ba ba bum ba bum. I think I got that right. Bum, 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 bum.
I think that's supposed to be the Terminator theme.
Is it? Stop making them think I'm tooting. You're a goober. I love you.
Sounds like Drunkle.
Okay. Didn't Captain America use Thor's hammer in Endgame? Yes, he did.
Yep, because he was worthy.
Now, the only thing I could
They
see that,
foreshadowed-
maybe it couldn't hang on a coat rack is,
Oh, that Trump.
Yes.
oh yeah. No, the only way I could see, it wouldn't be able to hang on a coat rack is just the physical weight of the hammer itself.
Yeah, that is the one sort of like, which is it? Is it super duper heavy or is it a magical ward? If he hangs it on a code rack, how can it hang there? That's
Well, I think in
comic book logic, I guess.
In the
Well,
MCU,
it's also
not-
because it is a comic book thing.
Jack first.
I mean, you could conceivably argue that he can adjust the weight of the hammer through the enchantment because
Sure.
he has the power of Thor, and he's the god of thunder, which also would include wind as well as lightning. So maybe it's artificially like semi-levitating. He can adjust the density and weight of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you could argue
Well,
that. I think it's one of those like angels on a pinhead thing.
In the first Avengers movie,
Oh, this
when
kid.
Thor and Hulk were fighting, Thor used the hammer on Hulk, and Hulk couldn't pick it up, no matter how hard he tried.
Well, Hulk has to
Maybe
be
it's
super
not-
duper. Yeah, he has to be super duper angry.
Hey.
Yeah.
She's having me spell something for you. You guys talk for a second.
Hulk has to be like ridiculously angry, so his strength is at its max in order to lift the hammer. He can't just do it like within his normal mode. Let's say.
Yeah, it really comes to, it's one of those things that's a MacGuffin to begin with. So
Yeah.
you could argue it all day long, but it comes down to what the writer decides is going to be the current logic of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
What are you
I
doing over
can
there, Monkey?
forgive MacGuffins because I'm
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a certain amount of suspension of disbelief just to go with the storyline sometimes because there are no magical hammers that we've found yet. So we don't really understand the scientific principle behind them until it happens. So the argument is circular in nature. It comes down to perspective.
I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so MacGuffins are just
Uh-oh.
You're breaking up, bud.
it's just part of life for me.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
just
I'm
gotta
living-
kind of roll with it.
See you later, bud.
See ya.
You're adorable. I love you. Big brother, is that you?
Yeah, that'd be me. I just wanted to make sure that this mic setup works because I'm in the car too. I don't want to sound like Sinatra.
You sound actually a little rougher than Sinatra.
Oh, great. Well, let me figure that out. I'll mute myself for a second.
I am glad we brought the. Okay, I need to talk for just a second. Okay. Bring it to the comic book things. That was one of the things they also brought up during Christina Sommers' interview with Bill. Is that back in the early days of feminism, your feminist heroes were strong women, and Wonder Woman being one of them. And she was. Hang on, I got to plug your ears. She was badass. She wasn't some wimpy. She wasn't. Who is it? Captain Marvel now?
Yeah.
The chick with the big hands. The just weird thing.
Oh yeah, that's Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Okay, sorry. And no, she was this strong, powerful woman. And heroes today are like Tess Holliday.
Yeah.
Or Lena Dunham is a hero of feminism.
What the problem is that back then you had women that were not just physically strong, they were capable and intelligent, and they were treated with the same respect as the male heroes. Now it's more of a, I have to bring the men down in order to look big and tough. It's not about competency. It's just about like, look at me, I'm a girl, we all love each other, rah, rah, rah.
Right.
It's no longer about being as good as the men. It's about being somehow superior. That's how it comes across anyway.
That's the paradox of modern feminism is they are superior to us, yet somehow need to be afraid of us at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too much negativity and bad messaging. It doesn't come across as being tolerant. It comes across as being bullying.
Hey, real quick, does this sound better?
Not a little bit. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound as rough, but it still sounds like you're coming out of a tin can.
Okay. Well, real quick point too. One thing that the feminists are never going to accept is there are always going to be people who decide that they want to raise their own children, and most often women already have the bond with the child, and so there's going to be those women who say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and so they're going to adjust their lives to accommodate that, and usually that means taking less hours or something like that.
That's very true.
We've had to hear about that too. The pay gap from women who work at home and they're not paid.
Yes, the value of unpaid work. We
That's
have
a
to start
decision
monetizing that.
That's a decision between a couple. They make those choices though. It's not something that's forced by society. You know?
Yeah, but that implies teamwork, and men are dumb and aren't allowed to make decisions anymore. I mean, just watch any sitcom. Men are regulated to being the fat sidekick. That's the portrayal that we're putting out there now, is that women need to be the ones that take charge, so that they don't want people to work together for some reason. They just want you to be a strong, independent woman that don't need no man and make all these decisions for yourself. But it doesn't work that way in real life. You have to, if you live with someone, you have to make decisions together.
Me farting.
That is not you farting. Do you guys like my background music today?
Your sidekick is great, by the way.
She's adorable. I mean, she's gonna get me in trouble. She's got pen all over her
Sidekick,
face now.
Oh no!
Here, we get a pen right here. Here, let's see. Can we get that off? You got it on your hand.
Is it Grand Monkey Makeover time?
Well, she got a hold of my Post-it notes and a pen.
Uh-oh.
So she's over here writing. She's learning all her letters and stuff, and she's getting really, really good at it.
You know, you should tell her I still have the little picture of her writing my name on my Twitter. It's my top little post thing.
Oh, do you remember when you made a when you wrote your name for Scribe a long time ago? It's on his. You want to see it? You did it a long time ago. I'll show you.
Yeah, she wrote Scribe on a purple notepad thingy, and I put it up there.
It's actually pink. It just came through as purple.
Oh, did it? Okay.
And he put it up here so everybody can see.
A.
That was you trying to write before you knew how to do all your letters. You did a good job. It was a good try.
I did M.A.
It is kind of an MA, but it's still cute, just like you. Mwah.
Aww.
I think she was trying to say it's MMA and she's challenging Scribe to a fight.
Death match.
Baba.
For those of you at home who'd like to see, there you go. This was Grand Monkey. Man, how long ago was this? A year?
Whenever that tweet is, that's it.
That was her trying to write his name on a stolen Post-it note. Let's see that one up October 23rd of 2018. So yeah, we're getting close.
Oh
to
wow,
it.
we're almost
Oh, speaking of that, what is today? Tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow is my 3-year anniversary here on the YouTubes.
Yay!
Yeah. Don't feel that long, man. A lot has happened in that time. For one thing, this one can talk now.
Wow.
They're so cute. Yeah,
When
so
I was a baby, I couldn't talk. I cried.
you did cry. You didn't cry that much though, because Grandpa would just rock you and sing to you.
Walk me and sing to you.
Yeah.
Walk me and sing to you.
Do you like when Grandpa sings to you?
Yeah.
Don't put those by that. Get that away from there.
Let me sing you the song of my people. Don't put that by there.
Well, she's got one of my sound things, and she's putting it right by a heater. Child, you guys talk for a second.
All right. Blah 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 blah.
How long before she burns his house down, do you think?
Oh, let's hope not. Jeez.
Well,
Yeah, I got my 3-year will be on October 11th. Since I made my first video or posted my first video.
Wow.
Coming up on it. How long have you been on here, Jack?
Oh, I don't know. I don't pay any
Oh.
attention to that.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Hold on, I'll look. This channel's only been around for about a year.
Sorry about that, guys. Anyhow, Monkey gets out his belt. For her? Are you kidding? Who said that? Go sit in the corner. You've not been paying attention all these years. Yeah, this is the child I have trouble saying no to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
not that Pumpkin's any different.
in
Oh my
4
God.
days, I've been on YouTube for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Damn, Jack.
That's a long time.
Don't forget, guys, Jack has books you can buy. How many books have you wrote, Jack?
I got 5 or 6 published, and then I've got like 4 or 5 of them sitting around here doing nothing. Need edited and various revisions.
What are your books on, Jack?
What's that? You
He's
cut
got
out.
I think he has.
What?
Yeah, you're real bad, bud. You're
All right,
breaking
I'm
up
gonna-
horribly.
I'll drop off and come back.
All right, man. Let's see. All right, man. I think he was asking what your books are on. You have what, a couple fiction, and then
Yeah,
The
I've got
one's based-
4 about my retail adventures. I've got 2 fiction books that are like superhero books, and then I've got 2 ebooks that are just short works about. One's about Holcomb Road and the Merchant Ball, and the other one's about the Moonville Tunnel.
so I'm trying to wrangle a little one while we're talking as well.
Nice.
Little one wrangler. That's your job title.
Grand Monkey whips Monkey with her belt, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
Is Grandpa wrapped around your finger?
No, the little baby.
I'm not sure what that meant.
Little baby.
No, I went up the stairs the other day. Lady Monkey had just gotten home and she was holding Pumpkin. And as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, she just points at me. And I walked over. And she about jumped out of that poor woman's hands. She's like, what is this? My baby girls, right?
Grandpa.
Let's go upstairs and
Grandpa can't. I'm working.
You're working.
There's a whole bunch of people not working upstairs. Go tell them that they need to entertain you.
I think he said twerking.
Twerking.
Close the door. Close. Oh, God, every time. I do have a story I want to talk about, but I close the door. You can.
No.
I've seen you do it. This child. No, there's a story I want to talk about, but I'm pretty sure I can't do it without swearing a whole bunch.
Well, find other words, monkey. You have a vocabulary.
Okay. This actually is in my home state, right? So
Mhm.
there's a man named Peter Maher. There's a chain of stores here in Michigan called Maher, and he is the heir to the throne of that store. So he's also running for Congress against the guy who used to be a Republican and dropped out of the Republican Party to criticize Trump.
Okay.
He's running against this guy. Well, he's being sued right now by the ACLU.
For
Somebody's
what?
saying I'm roboting.
Yeah, you were.
Am I okay?
There.
Yeah,
You're okay now.
Okay. So the ACLU is suing him because he has a venue, and they have this thing going on in Grand Rapids right now called the what's it called again? Oh shit! See, I told you, Art Prize. It's this thing that they do down in Grand Rapids once a year where they have all kinds of art exhibits of different kinds, and there was a group that wanted to perform in his venue. It's a bunch of people. It's called drag syndrome.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Oh yeah, no, I think I read about this. Yeah.
It's a bunch of downsies with that dress up and dance and drag.
We talked about them a long time ago on Monkey in the Morning one time, and I got really mean.
I don't remember talking. I believe you. Yeah, they're called drag syndrome, and his reasoning is that he doesn't think the performers would be able to give their full and informed consent to participate in sexualized dance routines.
It really looks like you're taking advantage of the mentally.
You think?
Yeah.
But when I saw his reasoning, I'm like, I can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
But the ACLU's comment is funny because this is what if members of the group were to perform an orchestra recital, chances are he wouldn't have canceled the performance.
Oh yeah, these things are exactly the same, by the way.
Well, they're claiming that he's where is it? He's discriminating on the basis of disability and sex.
No, he's discriminating on the basis of the activity you're trying to goad these people into performing.
Well, if you're saying, look, if it was an orchestra recital, they'd have no problem with it. Well, then aren't you admitting that it's not about disability and sex?
Yeah.
Darkshade, thank you so much. Hey, MS Monkey, Big Eater, and Got It Guru. Hey, back.
I'm a Got It Guru. Yay!
Monkey has multiple sclerosis.
I do.
Or MS Paint, one of the two.
MS Pain? What?
MS Paint. That's the joke.
They did find another place to put their show on, but they're suing.
Of course,
suing this guy because he actually gives a damn about the mentally retarded. Well, are they? Yeah, they're mentally retarded, right? Yeah, they're downsy. Do you think they even know where they are?
Yeah, downsies are way higher functioning than your
average. We're talking about Down syndrome people, not Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden doesn't know where he is.
What are you doing?
I like pudding.
I like turtles.
I remember this one time I was storming the beach at Normandy. You didn't do that, Joe. It doesn't matter. It's the principle.
No, when I read the ACLU's comment there, I was just like, you just admitted that they didn't do anything wrong. You literally just admitted it.
Well, it doesn't matter. He disagrees with them, and that's all that they care about.
The other one I saw today that was annoying. Was it on Lords of the Night where we read the thing about the guy who went through ContraPoint's earnings?
Yeah, we did mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that tweet today. And yeah, this guy breaks it down. comes out to like $39,000 a month that Contra's making on Patreon, as best they can tell, because they don't have exact numbers.
Right.
They're using the fact that Contra has different tiers, and you can figure out some of those tiers based on what you see in the videos. But somebody said this in response to it. I hope people actually engage with the whole thread here, because it outlines some serious questions about the wealth generated by YouTubers and isn't even specific to Contra, and also explains why why people are talking about the money Contra brings in. It was that first part that caught my eye, because I was going through the comments, because this is the original thread is 11 tweets long. And this one person in it actually identified themselves, their economic views as anti-YouTuber. I was like, okay, I understand that there's people who don't like that people make money on YouTube. I get that. But I don't. The serious questions about wealth generated by YouTubers.
Can I offer a perhaps ridiculous argument?
Please.
ContraPoints does not generate wealth. ContraPoints accepts donations.
That's fair.
ContraPoints is not. I mean, now you could say, oh, they produce content and shows and things like that. Yes, but they're not employed. They're not getting money from advertisers for selling products or anything else. I don't know if ContraPoints is sponsored or not. I don't know. But when they're talking about the Patreon and everything else, that's not wealth generation. That is wealth acceptance from other people. It's other people generating the wealth and doing labor and everything else. ContraPoints' videos are effectively no more or less valuable than Monkey's videos or my videos. It just depends on the audience and the people who decide to watch them and donate. So, ta-da!
Well, somebody in that thread, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Somebody in that thread pointed out, okay, because it comes out to, what is it, $417,000 a year, something like that. Right. After taxes, and federal taxes, paying, because Contra actually pays somebody to make the music you hear in all of the videos. That's written and orchestrated just for her. Mm-hmm. So that's paid for. So you end up with like $230,000, and that's before she pays anybody for. Oh, that's right. State taxes weren't taken out of that. So it's still a lot of money.
Yes,
but I don't understand what the point is.
Yeah, she's paying her portion back. It's not like she's just like hoarding all this wealth and everything is 100% there anyway.
But even if she did, isn't it her money?
Yeah, I mean, it's given to her. It's effectively gifted to her. So there you go. And what is wrong with that? I mean, if it was somebody who was saying things you agreed with, would you argue with it? Would you complain?
Do you think these people would sit around and complain about the Jerry Lewis telethon?
Yes.
Yeah,
they would complain about anything that isn't giving them money because
Jerry Lewis is a misogynist monkey.
The point is, Contra is a socialist making $30K a month. I don't think that was at all the point there. Midnight. This is one of the. This is coming from one of the NBs. The envies, as we call them. It's one of them. They're trying to prove that Contra is a bad person because they make money, right. Not because she claims to be a socialist, but or whatever, but because they make money. Like, look how much they make.
It's the Bezos factor.
Yeah, I think some of it is just straight up jealousy. There is a level of hypocrisy for a socialist to be making a bunch of money, but that's probably for a different discussion.
No, there's not a problem with the socialists making money as long as they're giving it all back.
Right.
I mean, as long as they're sharing that wealth equally with everybody, then they're still not a hypocrite.
Well, as a capitalist, I have no problem. Feel free to give me money. My links are on the side there.
Absolutely.
Hi, Stargazer. And give Monkey some money on Patreon every month. Links in the description.
Yeah, man, we're going out to eat tonight. That's going to be expensive. The whole family's here, man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, including my father-in-law came up unexpectedly. Oh, we made Lady Monkey cry today.
Oh, yeah?
She didn't know. I see. That's very cute, baby. She didn't know her dad was coming up.
Oh.
We kept it a complete secret, and I came in here and goes, "You need to go answer the door." And she goes to the door and looks out. She goes, "Oh my god!" And she hugged him. She wouldn't let go. It was funny.
Aw.
She was like, "He made me answer the door."
Oh, thank you.
That's right. I tell my women what to do.
I feel like such a domestic now.
It came up earlier in the summer, but they ended up having to cancel or cut their trip in half, so she only got to see him for like one day. And she was super upset that she wasn't going to get to see him anymore this year. Yeah, so we made her cry.
Oh.
Yeah, her birthday's Tuesday, so everybody's up celebrating today. And is Contra sharing his wealth equally? I don't know. I don't have access to Contra's finance.
Equally with what?
Contra may be donating every dime he makes besides what he or she has to pay for food and rent. I don't know. I just think it's silly because you got to remember this is not just about Contra. That this post. Let me read that again. It outlines some serious questions about the wealth generated by YouTubers and isn't even Contra specific. What? Look in there, see if there's anything you want, baby. She's raiding my mini fridge right now. I don't think Grandpa has much in there, honey. Grandpa needs to go shopping. Thank you, Midnight in Exile. Family dinner funds, home skillet. And you damned well know Contra isn't sharing his money equally. Don't play. No, look. Okay, I'll tell you this. 99%, probably not. How about that? But I can't say for certain. I don't have access to his finance. What you got, girl? Oh, yeah, you can have cheese. Make sure
Cheese.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you very much, Cryptic. Some cash for a single bag of Doritos. And that'll definitely cover a nice big bag of Doritos. Thank you very much.
Yay, Doritos.
Do you need help? Okay. I just
not a sponsor of the Monkey in the Morning Show.
That's what I had for breakfast. I finished off a bag of spicy nacho Doritos. There wasn't much in there.
I'm glad you were paying attention to the lesson of Bill Maher's final segment.
You know, I was actually eating that while I was watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he's talking about me right now. Look, my body's already screwed. Might as well just go with it.
I don't think that's the right attitude. Well,
yeah, exactly. Well, fuck it.
Brakes are out. No point in steering.
Might as well close my eyes, man. There you go, baby girl. I love you. Are you hungry? They'll make.
She's always hungry. She's a little engine of growing.
But she's not.
No.
She's only occasionally hungry, and usually just for a snack kind of thing. Like the girl doesn't eat meals very often, but like right now, she'll eat a piece of cheese.
Yay, cheese.
And cheese is good for you, right?
Yeah, it depends.
Well, if you're not, they don't want it if it's not good. You know,
if you're not mowing. Oh no, this girl only drinks water. She loves vegetables. What, baby?
What's wrong with this girl? Put some sugar in that girl.
At school, and Eleanor got a different one because she's kind of different than us.
What?
She just said that they had cheese at school, but Eleanor got a different one because she's kind of different from them. Did she get nacho cheese?
Who's Eleanor? Please tell me Eleanor is like a stuffed animal or something.
No, Eleanor is one of your friends at school. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How is she different?
She got peanut allergy or something.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Maybe she's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, don't want to give her any cheese then.
I know, right?
And then they got back to maybe she got recycling and she got new.
Maybe she got recycled cheese?
Recycled cheese.
I'm going to sit over here and pretend I didn't hear that.
That is some like Soylent Green sci-fi future stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinatra makes a good point. It might be a different color, which means that it's probably like the here's your poor people cheese. We don't like you, kid, kind of thing. You know, she got the government cheese. Yeah.
You guys see everybody in chat's trying to make that sound nice, lactose free, that kind of stuff. Nah, we know what she was saying. She kind of different, y'all. She gonna be dancing in that show one day soon. Can you throw this away, please? Thank you. No, the little one is actually she's not a big sweets fan, man. She really likes her vegetables and healthy stuff. Her mom did that to her.
That's a good move.
You like what?
Vegetables.
I know you like vegetables. What's your favorite? Carrots?
Rutabaga.
Hash browns.
Yeah.
Ooh, oranges are good.
My favorite vegetable is French fries.
Yeah.
I don't have oranges. We'll have to see if we can get some. I don't know if they have any in season right now here.
You know what's terrible? I suddenly now want Doritos. I'll probably go get some later.
Doritos are good, man. You got to eat those.
Doritos.
They have both corn and cheese in them.
I know. They've got 2 of the 5 food groups.
Right?
Corn and cheese.
I actually like to put cheese on my corn. It's good that way.
That actually sounds kind of good.
You're both corny and cheesy, monkey?
Indeed.
Oh my god.
I'm going through the fuck. Oh, whoops, she's not around.
Watch your language.
Humpatry from yesterday because we didn't get to it on the show because somebody.
Yeah. If I made a mistake, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a mistake.
I don't think I actually even had any.
Oh well, then stop whining.
I wasn't whining. I was just pointing it out.
You could have said something last night, like it's okay. I didn't have any anyway, but you didn't, did you?
Well, there's some here. It's just not interesting because, there's
God.
the Donald Trump thing, of course, that's still going on with the hurricane, and I just don't care.
Nobody really cares, but man, they are really milking that thing. But he's not helping him. He's not helping himself by not letting it go either. So,
well, yeah, I don't know if you saw Scribe last night.
We're having cake. You want cake?
Not right now, but thank you.
Cake. I want cake. Send me cake.
Okay.
They say cake is almost done.
Okay. I love you. Close my door. Little shit. No, you go on the other side of it.
You have to be out to leave.
This is turning into a no smoking stream because she's been here the whole time.
Oh no, monkey, no.
It's turning into an Abbott and Costello sketch more than
I
anything.
know, right? But no, Noah, was it Noah or was it the weather? Sir, I can't remember. One of them came out yesterday and showed a graph that showed, yes, Alabama was projected to be hit around the time Trump said it was. And like, who cares?
I know.
Don Lemon cares.
Well, Don Lemon, there's that was the thing that actually my humpatry was about, was because Trump tweeted out Don Lemon. There was a segment he did where the guy giving the weather forecast on Don Lemon's show actually talks about how it could hit Alabama. So, yeah.
You know what would have been great is if Don Lemon had walked over to that guy, put his hand down his pants, and pulled him up and wiped his lemon juice on the guy's mustache.
Do the weather.
He'd be like, shh, just let it happen.
Oh my god.
Oh, goodness.
Why do you send me invites? Even I was offended by that.
There was nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I think that was the only. Oh no! And then the other thing we didn't talk about last night is that Think Progress is shutting down. You guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. After 14 years,
they couldn't find anybody willing to pour money into their money pit. It was funny when they announced it. They're like, after some negotiations with people, some of them very intense negotiations, we were unable to come to any deals. Like.
Intense negotiations, like what, fluffers?
Does it matter how intense they were if they fell through?
Yeah.
That's just making it sound like, look, people almost wanted to donate or invest in us.
Yeah.
But apparently most of the reporters and stuff have just been folded back into the main company.
What is the main company?
Excuse me, I forget the name.
Who owned it before or does own
It's
it? I guess.
the Center for American Progress, I think.
Oh, okay.
George Soros thing?
Yeah, isn't that the think tank deal?
Yeah. And they slowly eventually made their own news outlet.
Right.
They even tell you it started as a blog. And it ended as one too.
Yeah. Well, CNN is becoming a blog.
Yeah, Assassin the Grey gave us a great term on comic creation called bloggernalysts.
Yes.
There you go. And I call Chris Eliza's stuff blogticles now.
It's not wrong. Chris Eliza, man, that guy's just kind of dumb, isn't he?
Sometimes he is right on point. He can make sense when he wants to on certain issues, but then I just read his stuff and it's so, and we talked about this before. We shouldn't expect much from quote unquote journalists these days, but his blog post read like things I would have read in junior high. Like if someone in junior high was writing a news report for the school, I think would have more professional restraint than the stuff that Chris Eliza writes about national politics or serious issues, because he's always like talking like a valley girl half the time.
And
it's embarrassing.
The ways he tries to make connections to stuff. You're right. It sounds just like a blog, like somebody who's not actually thinking through it. Like they just want to get to this point and they gotta find a way to do it.
Right.
And then there's the editing problems.
Oh, the editor at large having editing problems. What?
Yeah, reading it as written, that actually mostly came from him, didn't it?
With CNN in general, but yeah, Chris Eliza was a great contributor to that.
Good portion, yeah. Chick-fil-A isn't the only restaurant that uses those packets of ketchup, right? Oh, somebody's talking about something up there. Okay, never mind.
Chick-fil-A, no.
I love Chick-fil-A. They're delicious.
What do you mean you're out of chicken sandwiches? Give me the chicken sandwiches.
Did you see the protest in Canada, Jack?
Yeah, I saw that on one of the news channels. But I was like, just okay, you don't have chicken sandwiches, you got tenders? Like, there's plenty of other things on the menu. Just you can't possibly just like one thing. What are you at a vegan restaurant?
Well, look, Chick-fil-A for me is just about the sandwich. I don't care about anything else they sell. Literally, don't care about their fries. I don't even care that they sell Coke. Just give me the sandwich.
They sell Coke? Oh my God.
Well, they do. That's how they keep the gay employees happy. No,
no, monkey.
Hang on.
They got MDMA for that.
I don't know what happened.
I don't either. I thought I lost everybody.
Yeah, was there like a long pregnant pause towards something funny, or just he's dealing with Grand Monkey maybe?
I think he's dealing with Grand Monkey.
Sorry, I was using my mute on my mic instead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was muted. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Will you guys hold this for just a moment?
Sure. What's your thoughts on waffle fries, Scribe? Do you like waffle fries?
I can probably count on one hand how many times I've had waffle fries. I don't hate them, but I guess I don't naturally gravitate towards them, let's say.
Well, I've found they serve a dual purpose, because if you're hanging out with like some kids, like you're babysitting or something, and there's waffle fries, you could pretend they're nets and catch action figures with them.
Well, I did think they looked like building material when I've seen them.
They do have that kind of like semi-Lego look to them.
Yes, you could start constructing little houses out of them on the plate.
Yeah, if you like to scoop things, like use your French fries to scoop up, I don't know, your chocolate shake or something, you could get a nice healthy scoop with them. So they do have that advantage.
Healthy, you say?
Well, yeah, aren't French fries healthy?
They are.
Oh, they are a vegetable. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they were potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes are the ultimate food. You can eat them raw. You can
just ask the Irish.
Yeah, so they're fantastic. Good way to
and the blight. Oh, the blight.
Yeah, well,
yummy blight.
Plus, if things go south, you can use them to throw at people. And
there you go.
Projectile out of them, hence potato guns. See,
yay.
Perfect food.
They're also incredibly easy to grow.
Yeah, they'll grow out of your ears if you let them.
You cut them up into little pieces, and you can make a whole bunch of new potatoes.
Boil them, smash them, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
They're high in potassium, according to Prospero.
Yay, potassium.
You see the light behind my computer over there? Go look at it.
Look at how many lights do you see? There are 4 lights.
That remote is for those lights, honey. This girl, she's testing Grandpa today. Oh my goodness. What else do we have going on in the world, guys?
I don't know. But I gotta go get some breakfast, so I'm gonna bow out, guys.
All right, dude. Have a good one, man. Thanks for coming by.
Yep, thanks for having me on. Bye, everybody. See you tonight on Lords of the Night at the regular time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Monkey's channel, because this is how I plug things. So, well, no, this is how I plug a show. I plug other things in different ways, but that's a different conversation. All right, bye.
Have a good one, Scribe.
You scribbles. Felicity Huffman is begging a judge to keep her out of the slammer for her role in the college admission scandal, submitting a trove of rave reviews from her actor husband and her co-stars on Friday.
Oh, brother. Don't you know who I am?
Right. Let's see. Well, I'm mostly interested in this because of the headline. It says William H. Macy, Ava Longoria penned letters of support for, quote, victim Felicity Huffman.
Perpetrator, more like.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, she did it.
Yeah, bribing people to get your kid into school, it does not make you a victim.
What in the heck is this?
What is this?
What, honey? That's a holder.
Holder for the remote.
Not really, but you can put it in there.
That's
But Huffman, 56, argued for 1 year of probation and shared her own tale of woe, claiming her decision to pay college prep expert William Rick Singer to inflate her daughter Sophia Grace Macy's mark haunted her. Quote, I find motherhood bewildering. In my desperation to be a good mother, I talked myself into believing that all I was doing was giving my daughter a fair shot. My own fears and lack of confidence combined with my daughter, quote, ready for it? Here it comes, who has a learning disability, often makes me insecure and I feel highly anxious. That is stuff for popcorn, honey.
Oh, way to drag your daughter into that. Yeah, my daughter's learning disabled. The back of the hand to your kid there. Jeez.
No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works, honey. But I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that was coming on. Are you into my drawer now? Okay. Thank you, Circus Zero. See, this way you don't have to do MIT AM in the morning. You lose your co-host to breakfast. Or did you mean to say this is why? Either way, you're not wrong. Wow. I should have known. We should have been able to guess that, that was going to be the excuse they used. Look. I was just trying to help my dumb kid.
Yeah, I'm with Mr. Monopoly on this one. You never use your kid's disability as a shield.
No, you don't.
It's just, not only is it poor form and tacky, it's disgusting.
It is. It's insulting to people who actually have problems.
Yeah. I doubt her kid has a disability, and even if she does, they're called tutors.
Yep.
And they usually aren't that expensive.
And if your daughter has that morning, sorry, I just saw Wondering Lisa morning. If she does have that problem, why would you want her into a place where she's not going to be able to do the work? Yeah.
You're effectively saying, well, my kid's, slow, but let's send her in some place that's really, really high intensity and she can't possibly make it.
Right.
You're a monster, lady.
Nuts is saying that she remembers me saying there was no stream today, and yet here we are. And somebody else mentioned that I said there was no monkey in the morning. Satsu asked me if there was monkey in the morning, and I was responding as immediately after that show. I did say we wouldn't have any afternoon gaming shows or anything because that's what Satsu asked about. But yeah, I had planned to do this all along if I woke up early enough. let's see. What else do we have going on today? Navy SEAL Team 7 leader fired for sexual assault and drinking. That's not good. Tourist sued over review of a hotel with Nazi grandpa pic. All right. That one I'll read.
Yeah, that's got a lot going on in the headline.
The owner of a four-star hotel in Austria are suing a German visitor for defamation after he complained online about a photo of a Nazi grandpa in a swastika-adorned uniform hanging on the wall, according to the report. The guest, identified in court papers as Thomas K., posted his complaint on Booking.com and TripAdvisor under the heading, "At the entrance, they display a picture of a Nazi grandpa." Child, what are you doing? Oh my God, I don't want to know.
Is this like a bed and breakfast or an Airbnb or something?
Well, it doesn't really say, and there's not like pictures or anything.
This is like a Airbnb. That's probably the most exciting part of your trip. Was like, yeah, we stayed at this place. They had a freaking Nazi hanging on the wall. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's no pictures of this anywhere, which is sad. But see, do they give an explanation for the picture? Thomas took notice of the photo when he and his wife checked into the hotel, which was not named. This made us wonder what the hotel wasn't named. How do you rate a hotel that you didn't name? He just said, I went to Austria in a hotel, and this Austrian hotel went, Nazi grandpa. We know what that is. That's us. This made us wonder what the owners are trying to tell us with this image. The incident speaks volumes about the current state of affairs in this region of Austria. Sadly, our desire to visit this mountain region has disappeared completely, he wrote in his review. The owners of the hotel then contacted both sites asking for the review to be taken down on the grounds that Nazi grandpa description was libelous and defamatory, since the man was not a member of the Nazi party. He was one of the owner's grandfathers. The relative was a member of the Wehrmacht. The German Nazi army.
Were they run by the Nazis? Right? I mean, you're kind of splitting hairs here.
I feel like Nazi grandpa's pretty spot on. Maybe he wasn't a grandpa. Maybe that's the problem.
It's not like he said specifically an SS grandpa, and they were upset that he wasn't in the SS, but he was in, some other branch. Nazi's a pretty generic 1930s to 40s term.
Rembrandt, let me help you out. You're trying to get me to pronounce German in German. I'm not going to do it. I don't do it for French. I don't do it for the UK. I don't do none of that shit. I speak American. Unless I'm, being a smartass sometimes. I appreciate the help, but yeah, I'll never do it
we're not going to get it right. Just accept it.
Yeah, exactly. To be an officer, you had to be a Nazi. To be in the service, you did not have to be a Nazi. Also, Germany conscripted Austrians. Well, I feel like that's especially because didn't they say that he was in his uniform in the picture?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. I mean, if you see an old German photo of anyone from that era, it's probably going to look pretty Nazi-ish to the average person.
A photo of a Nazi grandpa in a swastika-adorned uniform.
Just because he might have been cosplaying.
Even if he wasn't a Nazi, because there's lots of people in chat trying to make excuses for the guy. Look, it's not his fault. They made him do it. Fine, fair enough. Let's say that's true.
Still dressed like a Nazi.
They still have him in a picture dressed up as a Nazi.
Right?
So to call him a Nazi grandfather, I feel like that's fair enough.
And this reminded me of one of my favorite articles of all time, which I will link in the chat. It's the Hitler ice cream from 2015.
Hitler ice cream.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you remember this? You'll remember. I know I told you about this at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite articles because there's also a Nazi-themed restaurant in Thailand that has swastikas all over the place because they weren't involved in the war. So it didn't mean they just think of him as a military leader,
Right.
So, if you're not involved in the war, then what's the matter? They hate the Japanese because they understand that part, but the Germans, they don't give a shit about.
If I'm a hotel owner in Austria, maybe I don't hang Nazi propaganda on the wall.
Right? Ryan Walters makes an interesting suggestion. The swastikas were just standard issue German shuriken. So they were just the throwing stars of the German military.
He was a German ninja.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not ruling out.
What did the Nazi grandpa have to do with the service? Well, nothing, but okay, you're not going to have what would be a good comparison. I don't know if there is one in the U.S. I mean, we have our shames and stuff, but not the Nazis. I mean, the Austrians built Hitler. They actually brought him into the world, so that's their fault. I can see somebody being pissed off that you got somebody with a swastika hanging up in your fucking lobby. It's still your hotel, and you can do it if you want to, but
yeah, it's a matter of perception. Maybe he didn't have like a full Nazi uniform on or something. He wasn't dressed all in black like an SS trooper, but it was enough that this person thought that it was a Nazi, and they're like, "Oh, that's messed up." The person's got a right to their opinion, at least in our country still.
I understand people, like that doesn't necessarily mean he was a Nazi. That's fine. But hey, look, if you go into, let's say, the Richmond Hotel, and there's a giant picture of Jefferson Davis or Robert E. Lee, I can see people being upset by that. I don't think it's necessarily a reason not to go there. It doesn't mean the service will be bad, but I can see it. I mean,
no, if anything, the staff will be on time. Everything will be very efficient.
I mean, people are still allowed to get offended by stuff. That doesn't mean you have to adjust society to it, but they're still allowed to be offended by it.
You can't stop people from being offended. People get offended by dumb shit.
Yeah.
So just, take the complaint and move on with your day. Be like, well, that's the decor. Deal with it.
Yeah, because I don't feel that's libelous to say he's a Nazi grandpa when you got him up there in a German army uniform from the fucking 30s.
Right? And
sorry, little butt.
It's their place. They can do whatever they want. If you don't like it, don't go there.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should have to take it down or anything.
No, I think this whole thing's nonsense. Bunch of nonsense.
Hell, just change your hotel name to Dachau for all I care. Doesn't bother me, but I can see somebody being upset by that. Oh,
I don't know. I think they could probably, if they were smart, they'd spin this into a marketing thing and be like, well, everybody should come look at Grandpa Nazi and think about the war and think about the ramifications for both sides. Sure,
spin it into this is a historical thing.
Why not? Put an educational plaque up.
Yeah,
just roll with it. Embrace it. Embrace the meme.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a guy that means something to their family. So tell people the story. Come find out why we have that hung here.
Yeah, explain who he is. Was he conscripted into the military? That sort of thing. Like, oh, he was forced to join because that's what you had to do. And, make it a tour thing. Have a talk about it. It's a great opportunity to promote yourselves and educate the public.
And Mr. Scott, this is another thing they could do. because he said Grandpa Nazi movie. He haunts the hotel as a Nazi. They could start the rumor online that this guy haunts the hotel.
Oh, I totally would have started that the day I hung that picture up. What are you talking about? Haunted places get tons of attraction. So yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, we got 5-6 witnesses here. My cousin Bill, Bill here, he saw him and he quit. See, he was so scared.
I think it would be interesting. And like, look, I'm never going to Austria, but now I'd kind of like to go there and talk to these people. Like, why do you have that picture up?
Yeah, it's a point of interest. What's wrong with people? Like, just because somebody said something doesn't mean you got to freak out about it.
What's amazing, they're upset that they're offended. Somebody got offended.
Waste of time.
It is, and you know what? Again, there's a lot of times where I think, okay, you guys are just you guys are blowing stuff out of proportion. From what they described here, I don't think the guy was blowing it out of proportion at all.
No,
all he said was that there was a picture of a Nazi grandpa hanging on the wall.
Yeah, and it's a funny phrase, Nazi grandpa or grandpa Nazi.
Grandpa Nazi, whichever way he said it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's funny. So he said something kind of critical. They would earn a lot more respect from people if they just ignored it or turned it into a publicity thing. Suing somebody is just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know the rest of the song. Let it go. There you go. I'm tired of hearing about Antonio Brown because I really don't care about the Raiders other than when they become an easy win for the Chargers 2 weeks a year. There's lots of people trying to give us look, guys, I understand history. I do. They hung up a picture of a man wearing a German outfit with the armband, the swastika armband, in their hotel. Again, if you want to educate people, that's what these people should have done. Like, hey, come in here and find out. That's what they should have done instead of suing. When the newspapers came a call and be like, hey guys, look, this is who he is. He was, because all they said, he's a relative.
Yeah, okay. Like, put an about page on your freaking website with this picture up. Be like, look, this is who this guy is. It's a controversial thing, and then people come see it. And then you tell them the ghost stories for $5 per tour.
I don't know if you guys know this. Some people who were happily Nazis had relatives. They had moms and dads and brothers and sisters and kids. So I mean, I just love how everybody rushes to this guy's defense. He wasn't actually a Nazi. How do you fucking know? How do you guys know that?
It doesn't matter. The guy's long dead. The war ended a very long time ago. It doesn't matter if he was or wasn't a Nazi. Some dude made a hyperbolic joke and somebody else spazzed out and took offense to it. So calm down, everyone. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, let's talk about the Trumps instead. This should be a lot more. This should be a uniting thing. By the way, I was told yesterday, Trump's my buddy.
Oh, yeah?
Trump is my buddy. He's apparently me and him are good friends. And I don't know. This is all because of the hurricane thing is why he's my buddy.
Oh, well, see if I can get a weekend at Mar-a-Lago.
I'll try. I'll do what I can. I'll reach out to him. I'll DM him. We tight. But anyway, this is not about him. This is actually about Eric. Eric Trump touched off a heated Twitter conversation on the U.S. media about the U.S. media on Friday after he outed a Washington Post reporter who'd apparently been email blasting Trump Organization employees looking for whistleblowers. The kerfuffle, you don't see that written too often. The kerfuffle began when the president's son somehow got a copy of an email reporter David Farntold. Get a real last name. What the hell is that name? Okay.
That dude needs to run for Congress.
He needs to go get his name changed. You can do it. You can do it like in the same day now. That's his name. Anyway, indicated how to reach him on encrypted apps and leak internal documents safely. Quote, if you ever want to get in touch with me, I'd be glad to talk, quote, on background, meaning I'd never use your name in any story or tell anyone else that we spoke. Excuse me. I'm trying to swallow here. It's not working. Sorry, there we go. All my contact information is below, including details how to reach me on encrypted apps. Eric, the executive vice president for the Trump organization, sarcastically tweeted, "These are the tactics used by the Washington Post. At Jeff Bezos, you should be very proud." But reporters and media writers quickly came to Farronquad's defense. Fabulous template for ethical source building. Thanks for sharing, Eric. The Washington Post media critic, Eric Wemple, tweeted. Somebody from the Washington Post backed the guy from the Washington Post. I'm shocked. I don't understand what the kerfuffle is.
Got me.
Is it surprising that the media does that? Or is it just that they actually caught one of them doing it?
Probably that they got caught.
But hey, no big deal. No big deal. He's just out there trying to get whistleblowers. And whistleblowers for Trump are the best things ever because they help keep the country safe.
They keep Don Lemon entertained.
I seriously want to know, does anybody in the chat know, would it be illegal for me to lie to the media?
Not to the media, I don't think.
Well, if you send an email that contains false information, is that wire fraud?
I don't think so. Only if you do it to the cops, I think, or if you're trying to get profit off of it. I think you're allowed to fuck with people still.
I think it would be okay. Everybody's saying no. Depends on the lie. Depends on what I think. Can they prove you knew it was a lie? Oh, well, I just gave myself away, didn't I?
Well, only if you get caught.
Oh, Destiny just subscribed. Destiny Longwing, thanks for subscribing. Because I think it would be so easy to mess with these guys.
Well, yeah, they're dumb. They fell for that whole the Russian cosigners on the bank thing.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Wasn't that a 4chan prank?
I don't know where that actually started from. I just know that they fell for it. And what's his name? Idiot on MSNBC.
Chris Hayes? Was it Chris Hayes?
No.
The McDonald or O'Donnell or something Irish.
I can't. Yeah, I can't remember.
O'Donnell,
Lawrence O'Donnell. That's what it was. Larry O'Donnell. On Rachel Maddow's show. Did you see her? Did you see that part? And her face, just like, oh man, God!
I think she had her first orgasm there.
It looked like she did.
It's disgusting.
And now she's got lemon up her lip. You think he's ever done that to her?
Oh, I bet he put his lemon juice everywhere he could.
As long as you're not
everybody
paid, it would be legal. Yeah, I just want to send them false information and see.
You want to prank them. That's cheeky and cute. Sending false information sounds creepy and mean. Whereas what you're doing is cheeky and cute. So you want to prank them.
Oh, no. See, yeah, I see what you're doing there. You're trying to make this sound nice. No, I want to humiliate them.
Yes, but you want to do that in the form of a prank for legal purposes. I was just playing a prank, yo.
What are you doing over there, girl? We'll be wrapping up in just a couple minutes, okay? She must be really missing Grandpa because she spent the whole time in here. Normally, she runs back up and sees Grandma. You don't want to see Grandma? No. Are there too many people upstairs? Too many people you don't know? With my wife's father and stepmom being here, she's not real familiar with them. She knows them, but not very well. So yeah. she's hiding down here with Grandpa.
Well, you have cool stuff she could go through too.
Well, no, otherwise she would normally be up there. She comes down here, spends like 2 minutes with me, and then runs back up to Grandma.
Yeah.
She just likes to make sure I'm still here.
That's always a good plan. Somebody should check on you occasionally.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Sending them false information isn't illegal, but sending false evidence is. Okay. Yeah,
I don't know. I'd send it through a VPN or something and just not worry about it.
But how do they? I mean, what's evidence? If I were to say fake an internal memo, I mean, prank, as you would say, prank an internal memo.
Yeah. As your non-legal advisor, I would say just do it and worry about consequences later.
Fair enough. I mean,
This is what you pay me for.
I'm just so tired of these jackasses, and
they're dumb and they're annoying.
They really are, and
they try and crush everything fun and exciting in our lives. It's tiresome, and we're all sick of it. They need to just dial it down a little.
I don't even remember what it was, but it was a couple of days ago. There was some stupid story about Trump. I don't remember what it was, but it was so dumb. It's like, I bet I could get these idiots to believe anything. And then the hurricane story happened. I'm like, oh yeah, I could get these idiots to believe anything. Absolutely anything. I could send them a memo from Donald Trump Jr. to the head of the National Oceanic Atmosphere Administration saying, you better say my dad was right. And one of these idiots would publish it.
No, you should somehow connect it back to Don Lemon's stupid black hole theory.
No.
Or we'll make you disappear through a black hole the same way we did with Flight, whatever that was.
Putin himself called Noah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
He's the one that got them to do it. Because, Russians.
And I was thinking of starting the conspiracy theory that the Chinese are able to create hurricanes so that they could get global warming money.
Oh, that's not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's believable. They're selling carbon credits, and they have a machine much like HARP that will create hurricanes so that they can overblow global warming and sell carbon credits to stupid fat Americans.
Right?
It's totally believable.
It's way too. She's listening in now. Hey, baby girl. Come here for a sec. Should we end the show? Come over here. Come over here. Can you come around here? You got to take your headphones off for just a second. Hand them to me. I need your headphones. Do you want to stop the show? Then I need your headphones. You can put them back on as soon as you get here. I just have to hold them so you can walk around. So here, give them here for a sec. All right, come over here. To stop doing it. You want me to stop?
Yeah, but I want you to take that. I want you to take that coat off, and then can I wear it all around the place?
Sure. Come over here. Turn around. There you go. Actually, I don't know because we need them for tonight, don't we? Are you still going to be here tonight?
No, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, come here.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's unplug that.
Here. Say in here, say, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming. I love you. Bye.
You're much shorter and sweeter. Okay, now I got to do mine, okay? Chat, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
There you go. Jack, is there anything you'd like to?
Thank you for coming.
Jack, say, Jack, is there anything you want to show?
Jack, is there anything on the show?
I'll just throw the link to my books in the chat. And thank you guys for the donations.
Tonight, we are on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. Then after that, we'll be over on 2 Cents Plus doing some more No Man's Sky. What, baby?
Why is Bloodwing not here?
Why is Bloodwing not here? I don't know. I'll tell him you asked about him, okay? Okay. And with that, guys, thank you for coming. I'd like to thank Sinatra, P-Dog, Scribe, and Jack. Everybody, have a wonderful Saturday, and we will see you next time. Say, see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Now I got to end the broadcast. Are you bored without Grandpa?
Can I unplug that?